Hello, I'm here today. I'm going to be going over order of operations with you guys. For you guys who need a little bit of extra help and understanding of how this works. It's very methodical. It can be very easy, but the idea is you have to keep to the steps. You have to keep yourself very organized, and I'm going to go through some spots with that today. DC Comics and Warner Brothers Pictures are hopefully giving me permission to use Batman and Wonder Woman in this video. They're there to learn some order of operations also. Okay, so order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's the acronym we use for it. PEMDEAS. Okay. Sometimes people eat monkeys during a supper. If whatever you want to use to make sure you understand that and you know the order of operations, that's the way to go. The P is for parentheses. Parentheses means that anything that is inside a set of parentheses, I am going to do first, okay? All right, 5 minus 3. If that is in parentheses, it doesn't matter what's outside of the parentheses, 5 minus 3 is happening first, okay? So I would do 5 minus 3, I would have my 2. Okay, so that's parentheses, anything that's in parentheses. Sometimes we also see parentheses set up as brackets. Okay, so parentheses or brackets. That's going to be anything that's in there, anything that's in parentheses or brackets, we are going to do first. Okay, the reason they use parentheses is to identify that that's a group, or that value is a group that is important to do first. Okay. All right, so that's why we always put that first. We say that's first. All right. The next one is exponents. So any value that occurs that has an exponent to it, that's going to be our second thing that we're going to do. So 5, something like 5 to the third power. If we see 5 to the third power, and that's in our expression, we need to make sure we go ahead and evaluate that before we do any multiplying, dividing, adding, or subtracting. So 5 to the third power, we know that's 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 then gives us 125. Okay? All right, so now we know parentheses, exponents. The other two, multiply, divide. Multiply and divide. There's a reason that we don't have M and then D down here in our order. 1, 2, so this is step 1, parentheses. Step 2 is exponents. Step 3 is multiply or divide. It depends on what comes first, all right? I'm actually going to do that here. I'm going to say this is step 1. Step 2 is all exponents. Step 3 is multiply or divide, okay? Step 3 is going to be multiply or divide. That means we're going to do whichever comes first. So if we have 2 times 4 divided by 2, or divided by 2, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to do our multiplication first. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 divided by 2 would end up being 4. Okay? All right? But if we have something like this, 9 divided by 3 times 6. Okay, 9 divided by 3. So I'm going to do my 9 divided by 3 first because that's what's coming first. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 6 will give me my 18. Okay? All right, so that's what we mean multiply or divide. Okay? And then the same thing's going to be for add and subtract. Okay? Step 4, add or subtract, whichever comes first. Okay? Whatever comes first. If from right to left, subtraction comes first, then adding, we're going to do the subtraction first. Okay, so think of multiplying and dividing and adding and subtracting as their own step. Whichever occurs first, that's what you're going to do. Okay? All right. Now let's go on to some examples. Now, when you watch me do this, I'm going to be very intentional and very organized. It's part of the reason why I have Batman here. He's always very intentional, very organized, very planned out in how he's going to defeat a bad guy or something like that. So when we do order of operations, we want to make sure that we are being very organized and very planned out. Otherwise, it's very easy to get lost. And also, this tactic is going to help you when we go into solving equations, solving for variables and things like that. It's very important to be very organized and be very intentional that you're doing every step exactly the way it's supposed to be done in the right order. Okay, I'm going to keep my blue here. All right. Okay, and the first example we're going to do is, actually, I want to actually hit on why we have an order of operations. We have an order of operations because if I have 5 plus 4 times 3, if I do that, okay, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So somebody could say this is 27. But if I do follow my order of operations, okay, 4 times 3 is 12, 5, and then 5 plus 12 is 17. I have the same expression, but now I have 2 different answers. And in math, we can't do that. We're not allowed to have 2 different answers for exactly the same thing. So we've established an order of operations to make sure we're always going to be getting the same number, okay, the same answer. And for this one, 17 is the correct answer. This would be wrong. Okay, all right. Okay, so order of operations: parentheses, exponents, multiply or divide. Then we're going to add or subtract. Okay, example 1. 5 plus 2 times 3 minus 8 divided by 4. Okay, so again, this is why it's going to be important that we stay nice and neat and we stay organized, because we got a lot of operations all going on here at once. Okay, the best way to do this, especially if you're first learning this, is always start with number 1. Okay, don't ever jump to any conclusions. Just make sure you check that off the list. All right. Okay, so I'm going to look at this first and I'm going to say, okay, my first step is are there parentheses? Do I have any parentheses in this? No, I have no groups. I have no brackets. I have no parentheses. Okay, so I'm done with that step. I can go on to exponents. Do I have any exponents here? No, I don't have any exponents. So I'm done with that step. I don't have to worry about it. I go to step 3, multiplying or dividing. I do have multiplying and dividing in this one. I have 2 times 3, and I have 8 divided by 4. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 times 3 first. And I love doing it this is the way that I've done it since I was in middle school. Okay, and this is really, I feel like, the most easy way to do it and stay organized. So 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, all right? 2 times 3 is 6. Now I'm going to bring everything down other than this 2 times 3 because I already made it 6. Okay, so I'm going to bring it 5 plus 6 minus 8 divided by 4. Okay, I'm going to bring that down. And then I go back all the way to step 1. Okay, that is going to be important because I think that when you get to using exponents, parentheses and exponents, you're going to skip parentheses and exponents if you have to do it a second or a third time. Okay, so I go all the way back to the start. Okay, do I have parentheses? No, I don't have parentheses in here. Do I have exponents in my new expression? No, I don't. Do I have multiplying or dividing? Yes, I have multiplying or dividing here, 8 divided by 4. Okay, so I'm going to do 8 divided by 4, which is 2. And then I'm going to bring everything else down with it. Okay? Again, see, I'm being very intentional. I'm being very organized. All right? And then I go all the way back to step 1 again. Are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents? No. Is there multiplying or dividing? No. Now I can go to my 4th step, adding or subtracting. Do I have any adding or subtracting? Oh, I do have adding or subtracting. 5 plus 6, I do whatever comes first, right? 5 plus 6 is 11. Then I bring everything down. Okay. Now, some people will go ahead and jump and they'll just do, okay, now 11 minus 2. But again, double check yourself, okay? It doesn't hurt. Are there parentheses? No. Are there exponents? No. Is there multiplying or dividing? No. Is there adding or subtracting? Yes. 11 minus 2. 11 minus 2 gives me 9. Okay? And then that ends up being my answer. All right? Very important. Go through the steps. Go through the steps. Train yourself through the steps. The more you practice this, the more you go through those steps, okay, the more automatic it's going to start to come, just like math, okay? So make sure you're always going through those steps. All right. Okay, another example. 1 plus 3 times parentheses 4 minus 1 plus 6 divided by 2. Okay, I'm going to start with my first step. Step 1, parentheses. Are there parentheses? Yes, there are parentheses. 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is in my parentheses. 4 minus 1 is 3. Now, sometimes you're going to see that people are going to put this 3 in parentheses. I'm going to say don't do that, okay? Because if you put that 3 in parentheses, you're going to wonder, okay, I still have parentheses there, and it's going to look weird. Once you've taken your parentheses and you've created a full value, okay, then you can drop off the parentheses, okay? So 4 minus 1, 3, that's my full value. I don't have any other operations in there. I can drop off my parentheses. And then I'm going to bring everything down. Okay, now I'm going to start all over. Do I have parentheses? Nope, my parentheses are gone. Do I have exponents? Nope, they're gone. Do I have multiplying or dividing? Yes, I have. In this case, I have multiplying here, 3 times 3, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Okay, now, could I have done in this step 3 times 3 and 6 divided by 2 and bring them both down? Yes, but again, I don't want us to do that. Let's just keep this as 1 at a time, okay? 1 step at a time. As you start getting better, as you build that practice, then you can start doing that, okay? So now I go back. Do I have parentheses? No. Do I have exponents? No. Multiplying or dividing? Yes. I have 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then I bring everything else down. Okay. Do I have adding and subtracting? Oh, sorry, no. Now I have this step. I go back up to the top. Parentheses? No. Exponents? No. Multiplying or dividing? No. Adding or subtracting? No. Oh, sorry. Yes, I do have adding or subtracting. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Right? Adding or subtracting. 1 plus 9. Okay, 1 plus 9 is 10. And bring everything down with it. Parentheses? No. Exponents? No. Multiplying, dividing? No. Adding, subtracting? Yes. 10 plus 3 gives me 13. I have no other value with that, so 13 ends up being my answer. Okay? All right, good. Okay? One more example. One more example here. We're going to do 2 to the third power, in parentheses, plus 13, divided by, in parentheses, 12 minus 9. Okay. When it comes to parentheses, we do one set of parentheses at a time. Okay? In this case, we have two sets of parentheses. Okay? I'm going to starting right to left is the best way to do it. So I'm going to start here with this set of parentheses, 2 to the third power plus 13. Okay? Parentheses, yes, these parentheses, 2 to the third power plus 13. Okay, now I go into my parentheses and I start my checklist all over again. So now I'm into this set of parentheses and I go parentheses, nope, no parentheses in there. Are there exponents inside these? Oh yes, there are, 2 to the third power. That's an exponent. I'm going to evaluate that first. 2 to the third power is 8 because it's 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, plus 13 divided by 12 minus 9. Okay, now notice I still have this set of parentheses because I haven't created whole value here yet. Okay, I still have an operation here. Okay, go back to the top, parentheses. Yep, I have a set of parentheses. Okay, now I have to go back again. In those parentheses, do I have other parentheses? Nope. Do I have exponents? Nope. Do I have multiplying or dividing? Nope. Do I have adding or subtracting? Yes. 8 plus 13 gives me 21. And then I bring everything else down. Now notice I've dropped my parentheses because I went ahead and I have a full value here. Okay, now I look at this step. Do I have parentheses? Yes, I have parentheses. Okay, now I'm inside my parentheses. Do I have any more in there? No. Do I have exponents in there? No. Do I have multiplying or dividing in there? No. Do I have adding or subtracting in there? Yes. 12. I have 12 minus 9, which is 3. Okay, again, I have a full value, so I don't need to bring my parentheses down. Okay, now I have this step. Do I have parentheses? Nope. Do I have exponents? Nope. Do I have multiplying or dividing? Nope. Or yes, I do. Do I have multiplying or dividing? Yes. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And there's my final answer. Okay? All right. So I hope that kind of clarifies it. Again, any expression you want, any expression you can possibly get, if you go through those steps, each step one by one, each operation one by one, you won't get lost. You won't get lost. Take it slow, okay? And make sure you're following each step by step. Okay? All right? Have a good one.